Hey guys, Sundown Rider here. This is going to be my chapter review to One Piece 871 Go Caesar. Now, this chapter was really good. If you haven't read it, I suggest you go read it right now because it was quite hype. The amount of shit that went down, pretty dope. We found out more about Stussy or Stussy. I pronounce it Stussy. The Tamate Bako box finally did things the Tamate Bako box is meant to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, we've been waiting for that to do its shit for a while, for like two arcs now? About two arcs now, yeah, I think so. So I was really happy with how that went down. I could say, my prediction was right, but it wasn't really much of a prediction. It was kind of being thrown out there, and everybody and their mothers had that same idea. It wasn't a theory or anything. Everyone just assumed it was going to be like that, exactly how it unfolded. So let's go and talk about what happened. And the other thing that kind of came out of this chapter was power levels and things like that. So I want to talk about that. So let's get onto that. Now, the first thing that we see is actually the cover page. What's Bartolomeo's special price? He's selling all these like One Piece merchandise, especially the Straw Hat merchandise. So he's selling like Straw Hat decals and pins, but he's doing it at a special price. So I think he's got a sack in his hand. I'm assuming he might be Bartolomeo might be doing like the dirty, and he might be going for devil fruits. I think he's going around hunting devil fruits. He's not killing people. He's just gathering devil fruits. But I can't be sure of that. I can't. That's just like an assumption. It's a presumption. Presumption. It's not even an assumption. So yeah, I'm thinking he's going for devil fruits. I'm not too sure. But yeah, let's go on to the main story. Yeah. So the Caesar throughout this chapter was hilarious. He's crying. He's while he's escaping. He's crying his tears of like basically horror. He doesn't want to get caught and all that. He's like, oh, we gotta make it free. And the first page, actually, the bottom panel it's quite well drawn. I mean, like it's not particularly detailed or anything. It's just another Oda panel, to be fair. But I just liked the look of the panel. You have Big Mom and all her crew on one side, and then you have like this wedge-shaped escape party of Luffy, the Germa, Sanji, and Caesar doing one basically. So I really like that page, and they're all covering Caesar 6 basically. So then what we get is we get a candy wall made by Perospero who blocks Caesar's escape route, and we then get the three siblings of Sanji's, the Ichiji, Yonji, and Niji. They use this move called Black Bug. Now, the kanji reads as compound color. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be, but it's translated as black bug. And they destroy Perospero's wall. They smash it into pieces. Now, in my opinion, I think this might be the Germa equivalent of using Haki, because they haven't displayed any proficiency in Haki, or I don't think they have. I might have missed something, but I'm pretty sure they haven't displayed any proficiency in Haki. So I think this is, and considering the naming as well, the way the manga stream always have a reason for why they'll choose one name over another instead of just using compound color. But they use Black Bug, and I assume from my experience, I think this is the Germa equivalent of using Busoshoku no Haki or Armament Haki. So that's how they break through the wall. And then Caesar's lines all the way throughout the chapter, I just thought they were personally gold. They were hilarious. He's still crying, and he's like, "Oh, it's not time to go up to those pearly gates yet." I was like, "Yo, this guy, his crying and his faces he was making, his lines all the way through the chapter was gold." So the comedy was on point as well as the action. Yeah. So then we see Dufeld, and he's still after the Tamate Bako box. It fell down to a lower level of the same whole cake chateau. But he's like, oh, I can't believe it fell there. How do I get down? He slips and he goes down, and he gets right next to the Tamate Bako box. But he gets caught trying to open it with by Stussy, and Stussy's just like, oh yeah, he's gonna open it. And then you see her lift a finger, and she uses Shigan. She straight up murders Dufeld right before he opens the box, and I was like, what the shit? How the hell can she use Shigan? The only ones we know who can use Shigan are the world government, like Marines, high-level Marines and things like that, or Cypherpol. And then you get the bottom panel of page 8 on Manga Stream, I think it was. You see Stussy there with her little finger raised after having killed Dufeld, and she's got like a little Oda box, and it says CP Aegis 0. She's an intelligence operative for CP0. Stussy is a freaking CP0 operative. I was like, what? So like, thank God I didn't record like what's it called, a live reaction, because I was there like, what, for like ages. But it makes sense when you think about it, because in the world of One Piece and in just general other books and comics and things like that, and the world government has always been portrayed as like a corrupt government. So you have corrupt officials who visit the pleasure quarters or pleasure houses and things like that because they're corrupt and because they lack decency and honor. And then this would be the most awesome place, the best place for an intelligence operative or intelligence spies or anything like that to gather their intelligence, you know. So it really makes sense for a CP0 operative to be the queen of the pleasure quarter. That's her Elias. So I thought that was pretty good. I like how it all tied in, and Dufeld just got murdered by Stussy. So basically, what Stussy was going to do was she's claiming the Tamate Bako box for the world government. They've obviously heard of what the contents of the Tamate Bako box were, but they haven't realized that the new Fishman Pirates have already used it. So they obviously were going for that power. I've forgotten what the actual legend was, but it was something about doubling or making your power incomparable to anybody else or something like that. So the world government want to claim the Tamate Bako box, and Morgans is listening in on Stussy, but she obviously has some sort of proficiency in observation haki, in her Kenbun Shoku haki. So she detects that he's there, and she basically threatens him into circulating that Dufel took the box. But then Dufel dies, and the box goes overboard, and it falls down to basically the base layer of Whole Cake Chateau. So then we get an interaction between Luffy and Big Mom, and this was good. I liked their whole interaction. It was solid all the way throughout this chapter. And the interaction was, she calls Luffy spineless because she's like, oh, you threatened me on Fishman Island, you threatened me when you got here on my island, and now you're running away and you're spineless. And Luffy's doing the whole ace thing, like, bitch, you just call me spineless? So he goes up to her, he's like, bitch, you're not mistaken, you're not going to be the Pirate King, I will, all that stuff. And then they have, which is going to be my thumbnail for this video, Luffy goes straight savage, straight away, Gear 4, doesn't give a shit. He compresses it Kongan, and he attacks Big Mom, and she, for the first time we've seen, I think ever, utilizes Buso Shoku no Haki. She utilizes her armament haki, and you get what's gonna be hopefully in the anime. I don't really watch the anime, but if I'm probably gonna watch this one episode, I always watch that one episode, which is gonna be dope. But there's a clash of their Buso Shoku no Haki, and it's got to be a clash of their Hao Shoku no Haki as well, their Conqueror's Haki. And you see people just getting blown away. They're not fainting or anything. They're just like struggling to maintain their footing. And he's like, after Kaido, I'ma take you down, Big Mom. I was like, yo. He's like, after Kaido, you're next. I was like, yo. And she was like, then this part is a really ominous part, the disconcerting part for Luffy, because Luffy he obviously loses all his strength, and Sanji just yanks him away, because Luffy has been through a lot this last arc. He's been getting wailed on, especially since his fight with Doflamingo. He hasn't really had much rest, so he's obviously fatigued, which is why he couldn't maintain his Gear 4th. But the ominous thing was when Big Mom says, you lot will never take down that thing, in reference to Kaido. Now Kaido, if even Big Mom is saying you won't take down that thing, he's got to be on another level. I mean, she's been on another level so far. She's not been... Luffy just attacked it in Gear 4 and it did jack shit. I mean, one of my notes is Big Mom tanks his hit with ease. She basically just uses a Buso Shoku no Haki. She's smiling while she's defending one of Luffy's not most powerful attacks, but it's a decently powerful attack. One that was throwing Doflamingo across country and shit like that. I mean, I understand Doflamingo was recovering from the Gamma Knife, but even then, even if Doflamingo had been at full power, he would have struggled, because Luffy was just head and shoulders above him in terms of power at that point. Luffy's Gear 4 power is above Doflamingo's full strength, 100% power, in my opinion. And so she tanks his Gear 4 hit with ease. Luffy's fatigued and all that, so he couldn't sustain his Gear 4th. But this, like I said, this shows the power gap between someone like Big Mom, Luffy, and Doflamingo. So then Judge defends Luffy and Reiju and Sanji from Big Mom, but he gets wrecked straight away by Big Mom. His helmet breaks, so we're going to finally see what he's covering on his forehead, his eyebrows maybe he has something else he needs to cover. Maybe he has a third eye or some shit, I don't know. There was another part about this chapter which was weird about the Germa, because they reacted in worry when their dad, when Judge got wrecked. Reiju's like, "Oh, father," and Reiju, you expect that from, 'cause she wasn't. I don't think she was as tampered with. Is that the word? Yeah, I don't think she was tampered with as much as her brothers in terms of her emotion. But even Yonji and Niji, they break away from Caesar to go and aid their father. And I thought that was a bit weird, considering they should be emotionally dead. So, where am I? Yeah, so then we get Caesar, then he knocks into Katakuri as he's escaping. His face here is gold. This is what I was saying. Caesar was making this chapter for me. I mean, the chapter was good, like really, really good anyway. A 9.5 out of 10, by the way. Actually, do I usually do out of 10 or do I do out of 5? I don't know. But yeah, so Katakuri is stood right there. Obviously, he anticipated where Caesar was going to go. And he's like, "Oh, you almost made it, but you didn't really make it." And once again, Ichiji was the only one who maintained his focus. And he attacks Katakuri, allowing Caesar to escape once again. But then Caesar knocks into Brûlé. Which is basically Caesar at this point, and Beige and everyone inside him, Luffy and all that, they're screwed. Because everyone's down for the count. Caesar can't escape. Ichiji got absolutely demolished by Katakuri in the blink of an eye. Now, people were saying that they wanted to see Ichiji versus Katakuri, but Katakuri, in my opinion, had always been well beyond the Germa's capabilities. They weren't ever going to do anything, especially if Yonji got smashed by Sanji. Katakuri was never going to fall to one of the Germa. So Ichiji got wrecked. Smoothie, Daifuku, and another chick, I don't know if she was ever named. She's got that kind of Doflamingo cape thing going. They're holding down Reiju, Sanji, Luffy. They haven't really damaged them at all. Luffy's just fatigued as shit. Sanji's just being held down by, is it Candy? I don't know. He's just being held down by those three. And then Yonji and Niji have been wrecked by Big Mom. Their father's basically half dead on the floor. But I think there's going to be more to Judge. I don't think he's going to go out like that. Judge is going to do something here. So Pedro and Jinbei are like, "Yeah, shit, we got to get out and we got to start smacking people's asses across the screen." But then, as we've all been waiting for, the Tamate Bako box explodes at the base of Whole Cake Chateau and the castle comes falling down. So that, oh my god, that's going to be, I mean, everybody predicted. It's not really a prediction. We were just waiting for it to happen. I mean, there were curveballs being thrown in every now and then, suggesting that the world government are going to take it. Dufeld wants to take it. But the fact was, they all wanted to open it, even when Morgans was like, "Okay, I'll spread this false news about Dufeld, but I still want to open it." It was going to open on Whole Cake Island, no matter what happened. So the fact that it opened like that, and then it's blown up the base of the castle, and it's coming down. That's what the end of the chapter was. There's no break. There's a little sentence at the end. I shit myself when I read that. I was like, "Oh my god, please no break next week." And there isn't a break, but I'll be on break next week because I'm in Egypt this Sunday to next Sunday. So yeah, fun times, 9th to 16th. But I'll see if the Wi-Fi there can allow me to do anything with my phone. Let's see what happens. But yeah, oh my god. So that was really good. I'm just shook by the power scaling right now, because Big Mom just tanked a hit. I know it's a very fatigued Luffy, but the fact that he was able to sustain Gear 4 for even a moment suggests that it wasn't a shabby punch he delivered. He gave a full Gear 4 Kong punch, or Kongan even. And she's smiling when she took it. She uses her own Buso Shokuhaki as a shield, and she just took it. I was like, what? So even Doflamingo may have been recovering from the Gamma Knife and everything. He may have been fatigued. He was fighting also Law and all that stuff. But you have to remember that Luffy went through a whole load of shit before he fought Doflamingo as well. So they both went through a whole load of shit. Doflamingo might have been nearer to death's bed than Luffy, because he'd been attacked by Gamma Knife, Law's awesome move. But the fact is that Luffy was also fatigued. So I'm saying that Doflamingo, even at his 100% health, would not have been able to block a Kong punch. He might have been able to dodge one, but he wouldn't have been able to block a Kongan from Luffy, just like Big Mom did. So, and then Big Mom says that Kaido, she describes him as that thing, it's like, it's just really, really ominous. And Luffy's going to take down Kaido first. That's his main goal at the moment. They're trying to get away from Big Mom, so I don't think there's going to be a big fight with Big Mom at this moment in time. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but so Kaido's got to be, he's got to be strong as shit. But it's been 15 minutes, so I gotta wrap this up here. I was gonna talk about something else, but yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in a bit.